Yes, good evening. Good day. First of all, I want to say happy holidays to everyone. Happy Kwanzaa to African Americans. This show is very important because it's at the end of 2020. Everybody glad to see this year end. So am I. Everybody but Trump. But we'll get into that. There's a lot of things that's happening, and as you know, I want to first of all let you know to those that don't know, I'm Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc., and this show, as all the other shows, has been put together by none other than the chairman of United in Peace, Inc., Terry Marsh Bradley. She helps me find the issues that she feels is most important to you, the viewing audience. I don't get mad with her. I agree with her, and I've been married to her for over 39 years. And that's my wife. Let me say it again, Terry Marsh Bradley. With that, I want to say to God be the glory. And Brother Omari, let's go to work. If you pick up that gun and you fire that gun, anyone that get harmed from you firing that gun, that's an innocent bystander. We asking the community, ostracize them, push them out, don't let them hide anywhere, don't support them, and let law enforcement do their job. The code is this. If you pick up that gun to solve your problem, I'm not endorsing violence. I'm saying you're violating the code if you discharge that weapon and innocent people get shot or killed, especially a child or an elderly person. And the community must uphold that code.
He got his shoe shined.
The reason that it worked in the 90s, because everyone was a part of it. Kids, women, elderly, was off limits.
You didn't touch him.
Didn't touch them.
Ostracizing from the community, pushing you out of the community, not supporting you in the community, or protecting you in the community, so that law enforcement can do their job by apprehending, and the Cook County State's Attorney can do her job by making sure that you get a fair prosecution. This is so that there's no retaliation in the community because you discharge or you fire that weapon at your intended target. We all got to come together. Those of you, my name is Wallace Gator Bradley. I'm the urban translator. I'm the president of United Peace, Inc. We all got to come together to let it be known that Black lives matter everywhere. Regardless if a police shoot somebody that's black, it means twice as much to our community when someone black is shooting someone black.
With at least 8 children under the age of 10 shot in the city in just 2 weeks, some are asking if that code still carries any weight.
There's something that we got to do.
Gator catches up with some friends on Calumet.
That 1-year-old that got killed.
His conversations of late have focused on kids getting shot. He says the rule still applies.
We as men got to put it down and say, that still exists. It never left.
We all got a responsibility.
We all got a responsibility, man.
But it never left.
I'm putting a call out to all the brothers
know what we do. Put the word on the street that this is no longer tolerated. Me and Holmes work together and we know how it works. We've been able to help individuals turn themselves in of the community, take them out for law enforcement to come and arrest them. Now is the time. Just like it was the video from Miss Frazier to let everybody know about the awakening of George Floyd. Somebody got a video, or we need to use our videos to stop this senseless violence.
And I believe that vengeance belongs to the Lord. And with that, I want to say, to God be the glory. And that's my story. Oh, good evening. I was so caught into this news about Miss Young. You know, the young lady whose apartment got broke into. They say it was the wrong apartment, and they raided it because the police thought it was the right apartment. But with that being said, because we're going to get into this story too, more deaths has happened within our community because of senseless violence. I continue to play that code all the time as I open up our shows. And the thing that makes this so important is that we have to keep letting individuals know that senseless shootings and killings of anyone, but especially innocent individuals, women, children, the elderly, who end up becoming collateral damage because they weren't the intended target. And we say anyone that grabbed that pistol and fired that pistol, there's consequences for your action, okay? And the community has an obligation not to cover these individuals who are suspects in this senseless violence. And if your name is ringing, if you didn't do it, turn yourself in to clear your name. We're going to be talking later on in the show about the carjackers who are suspects, who allegedly killed the fireman as he was getting some popcorn to take home to his wife. He went to a black business within the community, within the 19th Ward. I grew up out there in the hundreds. I'm from the low end. Born, raised, and reared in the Wild Hundreds. We all used to go up there on Western, safe area. even though we had to fight back then with the white gangs, because they didn't want black people to be up there. You used to go up there and go skating. It's now a grocery store. But we're going to talk about how the community, working with law enforcement and the technology to where they now have 3 of the 4 suspects. We're going to be talking about how this man that's wanted for killing 2 children, allegedly, but he's wanted. And that was close to me because I know the grandmother. We're going to be talking about that because he needs to turn himself in. And we're going to be asking the community, the billboards, companies, everywhere else, to put him up there for everyone to see him. Put out an Amber Alert to help get this man off the street, or to help him to bring himself in, declare his name, right, because he's entitled to a fair trial. And we're going to be talking about the nursing homes. We're going to get into that right now. You know, now that we got the vaccine, now everyone's pointing fingers at Trump because Trump didn't let people know what can be done or what should have been done in order to get on top of this COVID. But we have a governor here, Governor J.B. Pritzker. I support him. I supported him, primary election, general election, helped him get elected. Some people say, hey, Gator, JB could have did that without you. And I say, hey, you're right. Who am I to argue that? But the fact of the matter is this. He didn't win without me. But J.B. Pritzker has an obligation and a responsibility to the constituents of Illinois, especially the residents and the employees of the nursing homes in the state. This story right here, Symphony Nursing Home chain has 5 homes in Chicago among the state's 25 hardest hit by COVID. Okay? The governor has a list of nursing homes that aren't in compliance. Okay? And there's a law on the books called the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8, against nursing homes that need to be enforced against the nursing homes that aren't in compliance. For some reason, he refused to order his appointed Illinois Department of Public Health director to immediately implement that law against those bad nursing homes that's engaging in neglect, abuse, even to the point about those being infected, the employees and the residents being infected with the COVID to where some of them has died. So he got to be held accountable. Right here, right there. So he got to be held accountable. 5 Chicago nursing homes run by Symphony Care Network are among the top 25 in Illinois for coronavirus cases and deaths, according to a Chicago Sun-Times analysis of the state data. The Lincolnwood-based chain, which operates 29 nursing homes in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan, has had 147 coronavirus deaths and 1,016 coronavirus cases involving residents and workers, according to the data from the Illinois Department of Public Health. Now, if the Illinois Department of Public Health is aware of this, why haven't they enforced the law on the books called the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8? And the reason I'm saying that, because I believe, and thousands of other people believe, that if the governor's office, right here, if the governor's office had implemented the fines that they voted on, I believe in 2019, that they were going to enforce fines on these bad nursing homes. These bad nursing homes are not being fined. So they continue to do all the wrong things that they're doing because they feel like they're getting a blessing from the governor by not enforcing that law. And why isn't he enforcing that law? That's his responsibility. People, I want you to hear me. We talking about those that's elected have to be accountable before they come back and say that they're electable. The thing that has happened, Symphony was tragically unprepared to deal with any kind of communicable disease. They were tragically unprepared. Okay, Illinois Department of Public Health, you're supposed to oversee all this, but you didn't. You let it go, but that don't mean that you didn't know about this. Okay, there was a nursing home in Westchester where you got numerous of complaints. And one of the women that were complaining, her mother died. We're talking about Miss Lottie Smith, okay, from Westchester. She died, okay, from COVID. Okay? So it says here, COVID-19 says Stephen Levine, an attorney who has sued Symphony and other nursing home operators over coronavirus deaths. Now, this attorney knows what he's talking about, because this is what he do. But Dr. Alexander Steimer, who leads Symphony COVID-19 task force, says dealing with the threat of coronavirus has been a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge, Governor and people of Illinois, because the governor refused to enforce the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8. Gator, what do that mean? I'm glad you asked. If he was to enforce that law, it makes it where the hands of the Attorney General is no longer tied. It makes it where the the state's attorneys and all the counties in Illinois, I think 102 counties, hands will not be tied, where they can go in there and investigate those nursing homes that aren't in compliance. A lot of lives could have been saved had they did this. He still hasn't done it, okay? And we're going to get into that too. This is a disease that fights back, says Stammer, hope I pronounced his name correctly, who is an infective disease expert. An incredible burden is placed on the facilities. Well, the burden hasn't been placed on the facilities. They operating with no fear of retribution or cause to make them get better because the governor refused to enforce that law. Okay? And now that they got the vaccine, the guy that owns COVID, he feels, could you bring this up a little bit? Look. Omari, the picture up. No, go up some. Go up a little bit more. A little bit more. All right there. No, come up some more. Go up some more. No, go up. I'm sorry. Up some more. Up some more. Up some more. Right, okay, go up some more. Up some more. Up some more. I'm trying to get the picture of this guy that owns. Hold right here. This is Symphony Network, Care Network. Okay. This gentleman here, Mr. David Hartman. Symphony is a family-run business. Robert Hartman founded the company in 1978. Okay? At the age of 22, when he brought a Southside nursing home, which is now called Symphony of Brownsville. His son, David Hartman, joined the company in 1997, working his way up from housekeeping to chief executive officer. Okay, that's who this guy is. David Hartman and Robert Hartman has been regular contributors to political campaigns, including $5,000 that Robert Hartman gave to Governor J.B. Pritzker. J.B. Pritzker had told everyone that he didn't need no money, he was paying for his own campaign in 2018. The nursing home industry, come up some more, Omari, right there. The nursing home industry has a lot of clout in Springfield. Since 2018, the industry's lobbying groups have given more than $1 million to campaign committees controlled by the state Democratic Party and House Speaker Michael Madigan. Last year, Pritzker gave the nursing home a $240 million funding increase. Gave them a $240 million funding increase. And this spring, he signed a temporary emergency order that made it harder to sue nursing homes over the coronavirus infectious disease. Let me read this again to you. Last year, 2019, Pritzker gave the nursing homes a $240 million funding increase. And this spring, he signed a temporary emergency order that made it harder to sue nursing homes over the coronavirus infections at the facility. Now, he won't enforce the law, the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8, against nursing homes that aren't in compliance. He then signs a temporary emergency order that made it harder to sue nursing homes over coronavirus infections. You don't enforce the law, and then you sign an executive order making it hard for people that's suing the nursing homes over coronavirus infections at the facility, inclusive of death. You couldn't be for the well-being of the health and welfare of the people in the state of Illinois, especially in the nursing home, and especially when 50 to 60% of the individuals that's infected and dying in the nursing home because of COVID are African American. Let's get to the next story on this, Omari. Right here. As pandemic, now this December 22nd, 2020, and the date is the 30th. As the pandemic rages on, Illinois delays fines for understaffed nursing homes. There's a law that says, right here, that says that they're supposed to be fined As the coronavirus raves, chronically understaffed Illinois nursing homes, state fines to enforce decade-old staffing mediums are supposed to take effect next week. But a lawmaker who helped broker administrative rules for the penalties says the enforcement will wait a while longer. A 2010 law established minimum hours of direct daily care for residents who need skilled nursing. Lawmakers did not enact the fines until 18 months ago. That measure says monetary penalties shall be imposed beginning no later than January 1st, 2021. Well, it's just been brought to my attention. Could you go up a little bit more, Amari? Right there. It's been brought to my attention here recently, and especially after I read this story, the Illinois Department of Public Health has nearly finalized the rules for the enforcement by State Senator Bill Cunningham. Okay? Democrat from Chicago, says the IPH, Illinois Department of Public Health, won't actually start fining until mid-year in 2021. So you got the nursing homes, you got laws that say they're supposed to be regulated, you got laws that say if they're not in compliance, they need to pay fines, they need to have people go in there, get rid of the bad administrations that's in there, bring in new people that's in there. They can't do that because the governor hasn't enforced the Nursing Home Care Act. So you have an attorney general who's African American, and when it come out that they dying, everybody gonna say, why isn't the attorney general who's African American, why isn't he doing something? He can't do nothing until the governor order the Illinois Department of Public Health director that he appointed to immediately implement the law so it can be enforced. So all that weight falls on him, not the attorney general. You can't get mad at none of the county state's attorneys in this state from not going in there to enforce the law, because the governor got their hands tied because he won't enforce, he won't have his Illinois Department of Public Health director to immediately implement that law. And then, hold right there, and then for him to sign an executive order saying they can't be held accountable in the courts, or making it hard where the nursing homes can't be sued because of neglect and abuse that brings about residents and employees getting infected with COVID-19, and some of them are dying from it, okay? And here it is, after a law that was established in 2010, they made the decision 18 months ago. That's since J.B. Pritzker has been governor, that the nursing homes ought to have to pay monetary penalties, and said it shouldn't be imposed until January 1st, 2021, which will be here in the next 48 hours. And then they come back and says, well, we're not actually going to issue those fines until mid-year of 2021. That would allow the nursing homes to staff up as we hopefully move out of the pandemic, says Cunningham, co-chair of the Legislators Joint Committee on administrative rules, which backed a draft of the enforcement rules last week. It would also give the Department of Public Health the ability to hire inspectors, Cunningham says. Me and they ain't got no inspectors. Something's wrong with that. And J.B. Pritzker, that weight falls on you. And I'm saying this because I told the people when I asked them to vote for you that I will be accountable to help you to become a great governor for the state of Illinois. So I'm standing on my accountability. Because now you elected and you have the responsibility. And everything that's going wrong in them nursing homes since March, all the deaths, all the infections, you come and you give your daily briefings. Now the vaccine is being distributed, and the guy at the Hartman let it be known he gonna make sure that he be the first nursing home to get it, and he's a nursing home that ain't in compliance. You got 25 nursing homes that ain't in compliance and obeying any of the rules. Who to say that they gonna do the right thing when you ain't looking at them with the vaccine? Okay? This is what's happening, people, right now. This is what's happening. And the thing that gets me as an African American, why is it that state elected legislators in the Senate and in the House, or the representatives, state representatives and state senators, especially African Americans and Hispanics, caucuses, why haven't y'all asked the governor to enforce that law? And if you have, why are you so silent and not letting your constituents know what you have done? Because when it comes to 2022, starting in 2021, when you come back to community and you say you are electable, re-elect me, the same thing that took Trump down is the bad things that he did because of this COVID virus. It's the same thing that's going to come get you. Because you're not saying anything. The governor needs y'all votes. Even if you need his money to win, he needs your votes to pass legislation. Since March, since the COVID, we stopped going to Springfield. Couldn't have no meetings. But here last week, Cunningham and his committee had a meeting. I knew about the meeting by me being a member of AARP, Car Can member. I get my letter in the mail for me to call down there and let them know to vote on this here. I call out to a few black legislators that I know that find out, did you know anything about this meeting? They didn't know nothing. Right here. A 2018 report by the AARP ranked Illinois amongst the worst states for nursing home understaffing and the use of psychotropic drugs to sedate residents. That's what they was doing to Lottie Smith. An investigation that year by the Chicago Tribune and Kaiser Health News found that sepsis a deadly bacterial infection that can result from bad sores have proliferated in the understaffed facilities. That's what happened to Lottie Smith. I know. I was with her daughter, Loretta Brady, at Westchester. Took pictures. We sent everything to the Illinois Department of Public Health. We made J.B. Pritzker's staff and administration aware of what was happening. They come back. They say they cleaned up the bad people out of the Illinois Department of Public Health because of the complaints. But they still did not enforce the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8. Lottie Smith has died. A lot of others have died because of the action or the lack of the enforcement of the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8. The lobbying groups representing nursing home owners, meanwhile, blame their low staffing levels on the state's Medicaid rates for their facilities, which they reported were lower than most other states. Medicaid constitutes the bulk of the revenue in nursing homes operated for profit. Take it up a little bit, Amari. Right there. In the 2019 law addressed all these concerns, increasing state funding for the industry, tightening the rules on sedative use, and requiring enforcement of the 2010 staffing minimum. You hear this? The 2019 law addressed all these concerns, increasing state funding for the industry, tightening rules for sedative use, and requiring enforcement of the 2010 staffing minimum. Before the administrative rules for issuing the fines were in place, however, the coronavirus hit. Boom! Still, the governor refused to implement a law, the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8. Nursing homes in Illinois with lower staffing coverage, take it up a little bit, Omari, right there. Nursing homes in Illinois with lower staffing coverage leading up to the pandemic has tended to have higher COVID-19 infection and death rates, according to a WBEZ investigation that was published last month. The investigation, based on federal ratings of nurses to patient ratios, also found that the staffing coverage was generally worse in the for-profit facilities than in nonprofits. Still, the governor refuses to enforce the Nursing Home Care Act, Section 8. Talking about you, J.B. Pritzker. And I ain't no trumpeter. I'm a true blue Democrat. So far, for you to use your little old mechanism on your people, well, Gator just mad because he ain't a part of the administration. If I was a part of the administration, I'd be a whistleblower. Call the governor, call your state rep, call your state senator, call your alderman, call your mayors of them townships, presidents. One thing I can say about the county board, when you call your commissioners, thank your commissioners in Cook County and the county board president, especially Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, I think that's his name. all 17 Cook County commissioners, because of what was happening at Westchester, and the county board president supported and then voted on a resolution that's called Save Our Seniors. Call your Cook County commissioner and ask them to give you a copy of the resolution that they passed in Cook County. They care about you. All right, let's get to the next series. No, I don't need that. Let's get to the next series because I see my time running out. We was talking about, let's see, no. Right here, right. Back to Sister Anita and Jeanette. See, you better come down, son. Right there, bam, right there. Now go back up to the top. We must find a way to get out of that. Hold it right there. Oh, wow. Okay, hit the next story. Hit that right there, Trivia. Bam. Right, this right here, this good. We're talking about Anjanette Young's apartment being raided. Wrong apartment. She said it 43 times. They handcuffed this woman while she was naked. All they cameras on their vest or whatever it is recorded it. Copa was aware of it. That raid happened in February 2019. We talking about elected officials being held accountable before they come back to us in the next elections and say that they are electable. Well, resident voters, you got a chance to make them stand on their job because now they are accountable. This happened before Lori became the mayor. Okay? This happened before she became the mayor. But everyone knows that the law department is known as the patronage, the pinstripe patronage, where the law department hire out private attorneys. Some of them that used to be employees of the law department is getting paid to fight the cases on behalf of the city. Some cases they know they can't win, like a case like Mark Maxson. Got a certificate of innocence, been locked up almost 30 years for a crime that he didn't commit during the John Burge era. They find the individual that did the homicide and killed that baby. He get caught. That's how Mark Maxson got freed. The guy that did it, allegedly, he confessed to it. He even wrote a letter to Mark Maxson and to the family of the victim saying that he was sorry. He get caught because he had committed another murder and his DNA was on record. The same pinstripe patronage in the Chicago Department of Law, or the Law Department, made a decision to go to court against Channel 2 from having the right to show the tape that was public by then. And then they wanted to sanction the lawyers for Miss Young for giving copies of the tape up. They did this up under Lori. And you know what they say? When you get elected to office, the mess that was made become your mess unless you start cleaning up the mess when you become aware that the mess is there. They say Young's case has turned into a major problem for Lightfoot since WBBM Channel 2 aired police body camera footage last week showing officers mistakenly raiding Young's home in February 2019. The officers, when they kicked the door in, they found Miss Young naked, then handcuffed her, while she repeatedly told the officers that they had the wrong place for the video showed. 43 times she said this. And you know what's so wild? The individual who they were coming to arrest, he had a monitor on. They would have knew they was at the wrong house. They didn't care because they've done this type of stuff constantly. And they aren't being held accountable because the law department that's paying their friends the money to fight these cases. If they don't create these cases, they can't get their friends the money. Back to Mark Maxson. They made a decision to fight the civil suit, and they can't win. So I did a FOIA. Hundreds of thousands of dollars they didn't pay these lawyers. Damn near $1 million. Might be over millions now. Then they're going to come out and try to offer a measly something to Mark Maxson. The wonderful thing about Mark Maxson's case, out of all the wrongful convictions that has been settled, almost $1 billion in settlement monies. His is the only case where the victim family can find justice because the real person that killed that child is apprehended. You hear what I'm telling you? Can't win that case. So while the mayor is making moves to get rid of the mess, I'm seeing it. She cleaning up that law department, find out what's happening. I see where the aldermen is coming together to create a committee where they want to know what is happening in that law department on these cases. And I want to say hooray, hooray, hooray. Come to find out, according to a Sun-Times story in the Sunday paper, Oh, come up a little bit more. Right there. Now come down, come down, come down, come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Omar. Lightfoot continued trying to deal with the situation. Tuesday, she hired former federal judge Ann Williams to lead an outside investigation of the Young case and how it was handled. Mayor, I want to say hooray, hooray, hooray. Saturday, I believe it was Sunday, after the protest on 35th Street, Reverend Jackson and all the women from different organizations came together for a peaceful protest and had a roadmap to solution about the eradication of this problem where the police think they can do anything they want to do, especially what they did to that black woman. And all the women said, that ain't happening. And Hispanic women saying, that ain't happening. And white women saying, that ain't happening no more. And I was impressed by all the black men that was out there standing up and in support of them women standing up. And like this sister Naima says, the female solution. Lori, the 5th Ward Alderman, 3rd Ward Alderman, 4th Ward Alderman, 6th Ward Alderman, 27th Ward Alderman. Y'all doing the right thing. Bring it down a little bit, Omari. No, come down, come down, come down. You going up, you going up, come down, come down, come down, come down. Hold right there. I want to applaud Alderman Jason Irvin. He's the chairman of the council's Black Caucus. He says the incident that happened, not only Anjanette Young, but the other incidents around this issue of warrants and wrong addresses and the violation of citizens of our community's rights is the reason that we are all here today. United. United in peace. Purposely focused on eradicating the bad things in that law department and in that police department. It takes all of us. Now, I pray that the mayor and Anjanette Young do meet one-on-one. And I pray that Ms. Young is able to meet with all the aldermen, even if she do through a Zoom thing, so that she's not in violation of the that act, that Open Meetings Act, because of the COVID. And I pray that the aldermen and the mayor agree to that new committee that Alderman Haston was speaking about, so that we can get this right coming into 2021. Mayor, I know it's a mess that you didn't create, but you ended up in it. And from what I'm seeing, there's a chance that you're going to get out of it with the support of the people, because you're willing to earn the people's respect by showing you are willing to uphold the fact that you are now accountable and you owned up to it. That's the start. I want to say hooray, hooray to you, Brother Ag Russell, the young brother that's the lawyer. I saw his name somewhere. Young African American. That's his lawyer. That's her lawyer. I commend to both of you. Okay, right here. The victim of the Chicago raid canceled the meeting with the mayor, but I believe they gonna end up meeting because the mayor let it be known she wants to meet. The plan, it was canceled with the mayor and a public forum with the alderman. It was something. Bring it up a little bit, Amari. A little bit more. A little bit more. Right there. Chicago police raid. Home body cam video of the incident is sparking outrage, even leading to an apology from the mayor. ABC details, okay? A black woman who was the victim of the mistaken 2019 raid on a Chicago home scraped plans Monday to meet with Chicago mayor and host a public forum with aldermen over disagreements on how the gatherings would proceed. Ms. Young, who is a social worker, announced plans earlier in the day to meet privately with Mayor Lori Lightfoot Wednesday, today at Progressive Baptist Church. That's where she goes. She's a member of the church. Young's attorney, that's what I wanted to see, Keenan J. Salter, said the meeting was to be followed by a public forum where Chicago's 50 aldermen and Police Superintendent Brown were invited. Come up a little bit more, Omari. Thank you. It was billed as a gathering to discuss transparency, accountability, and justice, which Salter called a necessary step toward healing from the disturbing incident where officers raided Young's home and didn't allow her to dress before handcuffing her. Footage of the incident, first reported by Chicago's WBBM TV shows, Young repeatedly telling the officers executing a search warrant that they have the wrong home. However, Lightfoot said Monday that an in-person meeting with dozens of aldermen indoors would violate the coronavirus pandemic restriction and could potentially be inconsistent with the Open Meetings Act. Lightfoot, who apologized for the raid and the city's handling, said details were still being worked out. It is certainly my hope that Ms. Young and I meet soon, Lightfoot told reporters at an unrelated news conference. Young's attorney, Keenan Salter, and Lightfoot said Lightfoot's apology were not justice and failing to commit to both gatherings at a church with capacity of up to 2,000 people were offensive. Well, let me say this. We don't want, and that's my opinion, so let me say it. I'm of the opinion that we don't want what seems like a good plan to meet in a facility that holds up to 2,000 people. When we're seeing what's happening with this virus and how Trump was using gatherings at the White House and they ended up becoming spreaders of the virus. That's why I spoke earlier. It ought to be so where they can find, where they can do it through a Zoom. I've did a couple of Zooms. I've even been involved in a funeral of the Zoom, and I know that whoever is the host, they can make it where only the aldermen, men would be allowed to speak, and Miss Young would be allowed to speak, or her attorney would be allowed to speak. And if the mayor's there, she would be allowed to speak. The superintendent would be allowed to speak. And everyone that wanted to, the public, for the sake of transparency, that wanted to see what it was all about, can listen in. So the open, uh, the Open Meetings Act, I believe some can be done to fit it where, however the thing broke down, I don't know the full rules of Open Meetings Act. So many aldermen can be on one board at one time, and the other aldermen, they can make it happen for us as the people can see what is happening, so they can move forward, coming together, everyone working together to deal with a solution to this problem, because it can work now that everybody know what's wrong. It's about being accountable, being held accountable and responsible before they come back to the community and say, hey, they are electable. That's not going to stop the lawsuit, because it got to be filed against the city. They got to file it. But now with that committee that Alderman Harrison was talking about, and from what I read about, hopefully the mayor and the rest of the aldermen would agree that that committee should exist. And make it where the aldermen will be aware of everything that's happening in the law department. Because I've been telling them about this for years. I go down to the finance committee meetings, got transcripts with me saying it. Pat Dow and other aldermen called in, said, Gator, this is really happening. We need to be made more and more aware. Where Ron didn't want that to happen. So it didn't happen. But now Mayor Lightfoot wants to know what's happening, because she has to accept the responsibility when it gets messed up. So you want to know what is happening. The aldermen want to know what is happening. They don't want to get caught like they got caught before with the Laquan McDonald piece. Because they got to make the wise decision to save taxpayers' dollars. And at the same time, be concerned about the victims. It can happen. It can work. And the city will become a better city. So I pray that they have that meeting. I pray that they're able to get over the Open Meetings Act. And you can allow the public to zoom in to see what's happening. Because I read and I saw that when they found out what had happened, when they had the public safety meeting that was called just for information, not to agree on any rules, just to inform, I think it was an 8-hour meeting. People were tuned in. 8-hour meeting. They broke it down where Sawyer was able to say something, Bill was able to say something. I think Alderman Jason Irvin may have said something. Alderman Coleman, for transparency. We can do this, people. Mayor, I'm in full support of you on this. What you trying to do to make a wrong right. Alderman Pat Dow, Alderman Sawyer, the 15th Ward Alderman, and others, they want to make a right out of a wrong. Sister Young, I hate that it happened to you. The young lawyers that you got with you, with his urban translator at his side, Brother Ed Russell, the American activist, it can happen. Now, I want to get out this section. I want to say, Father God, protect them, keep them covered, and continue to bless them with your mercy and grace. Brother Omari, let's get to the next section so I can get out of here. That's the one talking about the carjacking. No, out of that totally. It's the next group of yeah, right there. Well, hit the video right quick. Yeah, right here. There you go.
New year, new workout goals. But if you're new to exercise or coming back,
Suspect is now charged in the murder of retired Chicago firefighter Dwayne Williams. 20-year-old Devin Barron was arrested over the weekend in Lansing, Illinois. Police say they identified him as one of the offenders involved in the shooting that killed 65-year-old Williams. It happened during an attempted carjacking in Morgan Park earlier this month. 2 teenagers have also been charged with murder in the case.
Remember, it was last week. Hold it. I think it was last week. I have told you that the community came together in the 19th Ward. Congressman Bobby Rush was there. The alderman of 19th Ward was there. Black, white, Hispanic, police, firemen, the community. Everyone was there from around the city. Working together, because they know it takes all of us. Working together, united in peace. And they let it be known that those individuals weren't going to be able to hide. And I said on my show then, it was 4 guys. And I told you then, it was going to break down. One going to get caught, lead to the other one. Going to lead to another one, going to lead to them all. This young guy here, the third one that got caught, it was so, he got caught with 3 guns. They used the technology to the point that the phone that he had, he used the Bluetooth in the stolen car that they found. They got his fingerprints off the wrappers of the food that he was eating and left it in the car. They tracked the text from his phone where he was trying to sell one of the guns, the Glock. And I ain't saying that they did, I ain't saying that they didn't. And I hear that they're supposed to use the face identity technology. But sometimes the solving of a crime. Maybe they argue over the civil rights using that face identity piece later to apprehend them carjackers. And like I said in my show, because I saw in the news where carjackers jumped out on this young lady. And she said, please, just take the car. She threw a purse, a phone, everything. Just take the car, please don't kill me. Because her brother got killed. They didn't kill her. They took the car, took a purse and a phone. And I said on my show, then before that happened, you don't have to kill them to take the car. You want the car, just take the car. I'm not condoning no crime. Just take the car. The car's insured. And if it's not insured, it ain't worth taking their life. And what I do know, and what everyone is saying, that's why I always open up my show about the code. That code do exist, and it's working every day. And not allowing people to hide. They commit them crimes. Somebody sees everybody. And there's no such thing as nobody didn't commit the crime when the crime has been committed. And the community is fed up. They can't go buy gas. They can't drop the children off at the daycare. They can't come out with their groceries from a grocery store without them crimes happening. Brother Omari, we got a technical thing here. Without the crimes happening.
With breaking news, we have new information on a developing family tragedy. It happened with the kidnapping and dramatic return of a 1-year-old boy. But now we have learned
start that story
his
over
mother
from the
and
beginning.
uncle have
I'm
been
coming to that now.
killed, and his father.
Here's another story I want you to see. Hit it now, Mari.
We begin tonight with breaking news. We have new information on a developing family tragedy. It happened with the kidnapping and dramatic return of a 1-year-old boy. But now we have learned that his mother and uncle have been killed, and his father is the suspect. Police in Riverdale, a suburb south of Chicago, are leading an urgent search for him tonight. NBC5's Regina Waldrop on the story. She is live with late details. Regina.
Yeah, Allison, at this hour, we're still waiting for Riverdale police to give us an update on this investigation. But here's what we do know. The man they're looking for was charged with reckless homicide last year. Police say he was fleeing a traffic stop when he struck and killed a woman. He was released on bond July of this year. Clarence Hebron remains on the run tonight. He's wanted for killing 2 people and kidnapping his son.
I really hope they find him and catch him.
Police say early Friday morning, Hebron took his 1-year-old son, Kamarion, from this home in the 1400 block of Tracy Avenue in Riverdale. An Amber Alert was issued, then canceled hours later after someone brought the child to the police station. Family members identify the 2 people killed as Jessica Beal, Kamarion's mother, and her brother, Damien, who was in town visiting.
At first, it was just Jessica I heard about. Then, as I got to where she was supposed to be dead at, I get another person telling me that now Damon's dead.
This was last seen driving a 2009 silver Dodge Caravan with the Illinois license plate CA96676. Family, friends say Jessica and Damien were good people who didn't deserve this.
It's tearing my heart up, but I'm trying to hold up for the rest, the cousins, because I'm the oldest one, so I got to be strong. I really hope they catch him, because that's what he did was very wrong.
And family members tell us they believe Kamarion is with DCFS tonight. They say the plan going forward is to try to get custody of that little boy. I'm live in Riverdale tonight. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Regina, thank you.
Okay, I hope coming into the new year that guy is apprehended. Everybody knows his face, who he is, and need to put on an Amber Alert so everyone can put it out there that this guy needs to turn himself in. If you didn't do it, come and prove that you didn't do it. But the community, just like we all work together as a community to help them individuals that killed that fireman get apprehended. We need to do the same thing about this guy. He shouldn't be out there. We'll be meeting with some brothers and some sisters and some elected officials and hope with some billboard people to put it out there. If we can get together in the city of Chicago with the marshals and with the FBI and with the community and with Father Fager and with Andrew Holmes and with Bobby Rush and with the alderman, we should be able to do that same thing behind what happened in Riverdale. So let us pray that guy turn himself in. Clear his name if he didn't do it. And with that, I want to close by saying to God be the glory. That's my story. Happy Kwanzaa and Happy New Year and Happy Holiday. And hey, even if you get the vaccine shot, don't stop wearing your mask.